Hello, welcome back to Dot a Teacher. My name is Dimmick Keith and I'm a science teacher, and tonight we're going to answer some questions that a student had about fossils, in particular one kind of fossil called amber. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our warm-up questions so those of you who might know the answers can call in and give them to me. Let's take a look at them now. First of all, let's look at question 1. It says, does amber come from animals or plants? Question 2, can you make a fossil today with resin and insects? Question 3, why is an insect in amber really 2 fossils? And number 4, we want to list all the types of fossils, different ways that fossils can be made. There are lots and lots of ways. This is not even enough blanks for all of them. But we're going to try to at least fill up this list, these blanks. Okay? Now, if you know the answers to these questions, call in and give me the answers. Now we're going to take a look at a very special type of fossil. And the first thing I want to do is show you what an insect would look like when it's trapped in amber. Let's take a look at this. Now this is a fossil. It's got an insect trapped in this gooey substance. It's hardened now. It's not gooey anymore. And he's been here for millions of years, maybe 60 million, depending on which portion, which type of amber he's embedded in and what part of the world he came from. Okay, so this is what it looks like if we could get a really good close-up of it. Now I want to show you some real ones. And I'm going to hold them in my hand because I think that you'll be able to see them better if I just hold them. Now, amber is so lightweight that it feels like plastic, but it isn't plastic. It's got extremely lustrous covering to it. It has almost a waxy appearance, and inside of this, especially the piece I'm holding here, there is embedded at least one complete insect and several insect parts. Okay, now originally this little piece of amber was not in this shape. It's been polished by a gem cutter or someone who likes to work with rocks and minerals and stones, and they polished it to make it a piece of jewelry. Now amber is almost always used as jewelry because people have been attracted to amber for thousands of years. Now, let's talk about, after we've got a good look at this, let's talk about where amber comes from and what it's really made of. Now, if we look at a map of the world, we're going to show you some areas in which amber has been historically found and also some new sites for amber today. Now, the most important source of amber had always been along this sea, the Baltic Sea, and this coastline right along here. And I'm going to explain why that is in just a moment. There are also there's smaller areas that had amber in England and also down through Italy, Greece, and even in Turkey. But these were not anywhere nearly as large as the Baltic Sea amber. Now, more recently, we have new quantities, large quantities of amber that come from the Dominican Republic. It's a different color. It's a little lighter in color. The piece that you just looked at is Dominican Republic amber. I'll show you some of the Baltic amber a little later. I think we have a caller. Let's go ahead and see what she wants, or he. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, what's your name?
Nobody.
What's your...
Shanka?
Okay, did you want to answer a question?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
Number 1.
Okay, what is the question? Want to read it for us? I'll move this over for you. Okay? Here we go. Let's read it.
Does amber come from animals or plants?
What's the answer?
Animals?
Okay, we saw an animal in the amber, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay. But let's take a look at this picture again. What's your name again?
Shanka.
Okay. Now, let's look at this picture. This is the amber here, the golden stuff, which the color actually, when we say something has an amber color, it has the same golden shade. This is the insect right here. This is the animal. But it's mixed in with this golden stuff, which is really the amber. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any idea where this golden stuff comes from?
No.
Okay. Stay on the line right now, and let's work together, okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, have you ever seen a tree that had been injured? Let's say that somebody had hit it with an axe, and thick, oozy stuff came out of the wound,
Yes.
almost like the plant was bleeding,
Yes.
right? Okay. When that happens, especially if it's a type of pine tree, that is a very thick material, has a sort of a turpentine smell, and that's the same material. The same material that amber's made of, except amber's very old, and the pine tree that the sap might come out of, or we call it rosin, that's very new. You ever gotten it on your fingers? It's very sticky.
No.
Okay, like if you go and you sit at a picnic table made out of new boards, and sometimes you get something sticky on your clothing that comes from the wood. Do you ever do that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the same old stuff. That's the same old sap coming out of the wood, even though it's been cut a while. And that's the rosin. But that's new rosin. It's not amber yet. It has to be very, very old, and some changes have to occur in it. Okay, so now, what's the answer to our question?
Plants.
Absolutely. So our answer is plants. And it doesn't come from just any kind of plants. Much of the Baltic amber probably comes from a pine tree. But there are many other types of plants around the world that also produce very thick, gummy substances. We call them gums. And that can produce amber as well. Thank you for answering the question. Do you have any questions you want to ask?
No.
Thank you, dear. Okay, good. Now, one of the reasons, let me go back here to our map, and I want to talk about this entire map here. And I want to pose an additional question that would be good for a student who's already studied the biomes of the world, perhaps in a biology class or an ecology class. And what I want you to realize is that we have biomes across the world, according to the temperature and the rainfall, that have different types of plants in them. Okay? Now, if we had a region here across Europe, thousands of years, millions of years ago, that contained an awful lot of pine trees or conifers, okay, a forest of almost nothing but one type of tree, we call that a monoculture. And this does happen still in many parts of Germany, and also even in the northern part of the United States, we have vast areas of pine-like trees, huge areas all the way across North America, or even on high mountains in the tropics, like in the central portion of Mexico here. In the higher latitudes, you get a different type of vegetation. You get a lot of pine trees because they need colder, drier weather. Okay? Now, if you can give me the name of the biome that produces this type of tree, I would love to have that particular one. That would usually be probably a 10th grade biology student or an ecology student could tell me that one. Okay, now, do we have a caller?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Manuel.
Okay, would you like to answer a question?
Yeah.
All right.
Number
Which one?
2.
Okay, let's look at it. Want to read it?
Yeah. Can you make a fossil today with resin and insects?
What's the answer?
No.
That's the right answer. Why would that be?
Because it's very old.
That's right. Let's put the definition here of a fossil on the board and have you read it for us. Okay, can you read this for me?
Okay, fossil. A remnant or impression of an animal or plant from the past geologic ages.
Very good. Very good. So the key thing here is that it's from the past geologic ages. This means it's very, very old. So you can't really just whip up a fossil in the kitchen today. It takes a
Right.
long time, even though you could put an insect in that sticky rosin today. You could do that, but it still wouldn't be a fossil.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Do we have another caller?
Hello.
Hi there. What would you like to ask a question or answer one?
Answer one.
Okay, let me put your, some of this back over here for you. Which one are you interested in?
3.
3. Why is an insect in amber really 2 fossils? Why would that be? Let me put up another picture to show you while you're thinking about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, now, this is a different picture from the one we had a minute ago. And this is a different type of insect. In fact, many of these insects that we find in the amber no longer exist. Many of them are extinct, okay? All right, now, look at this whole picture. Where are the 2 fossils? Okay, name one of them. What does this look like? Just a general name. What would you think that would be?
What animal?
Yeah, What kind of thing is that? Well, it is kind of funny looking.
I never saw one.
I didn't either. That's pretty. Okay, this really is like something that might crawl around or fly around your yard. So what would that be?
Dragonfly.
Oh, sure, it could be a dragonfly, any kind of bug or insect, okay? So that's one kind of fossil, all right?
Okay.
Now, what did this yellow stuff come from?
Amber.
Yes, what did the amber come from? Remember?
Tree.
Yes. Now, this is actually made by that tree millions of years ago. It's actually produced by that tree. So this is a representative of that tree. So this is a fossil too. Okay? So this is one fossil. This is another. And believe it or not, there's actually 3 fossils here. You want to see the other one?
Yes.
Okay. This little bump right here is a parasite. You know what a parasite is?
No.
Okay, that's an animal that lives on or in another animal and takes nourishment or food from him. Okay?
Okay.
Like people, if you get a mosquito, takes blood from you, he's only there a minute. He just takes the blood and goes away. He's a parasite. A flea only takes blood for a minute and goes away. But some animals stay on there a long time, like a tick, okay? Or a worm that we might have inside, like a tapeworm. This is a parasite that lives on this animal a long time ago. So we actually have 3 fossils. This bug, that parasite, and the amber. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, let me write down her answer. Then I want to refer to a map to show you some more things. Okay, we have the insect, a parasite, and the fossilized sap of the tree, the amber. Now, let's take a look at the map here. I want to hold this atlas up so that you can get a better look at the most common region for amber to be produced. Okay, now this region, let's see if I can hold this up properly and use my pointer. This region includes the Baltic Sea. Let me see if I can turn it here properly. All right, this region here represents the Baltic Sea, and the area in which amber was found most often was a very small region along the coastline here. Now the reason for that is apparently out here in the sea, this used to be dry land, and there was a vast area of forest here. And millions of years ago, they oozed a very thin, almost watery kind of